Okay, good morning, guys. So, due to inconvenience, many of them has not joined our group. Okay, let me start our session. So today we are going to see Java programming with Java. Okay, and today let's start with the basics of Java. So first of all, why Java is important? There are two reasons. Okay, the two reasons are the difficulty we face in C and C++ languages. They are not portable and are not platform independent. So you know that the C and C++ languages are not portable and are not platform independent languages. Whereas the emergency of World Wide Web which demands the portable program, because nowadays web applications are all over the world. We are using web application in the internet. So these internet web applications are needed for portable languages. So that is why the portability and security reason that Java has been invented. So this is the history of Java. So as you know, the James Gosling is the founder of Sun Microsystem, and the co-founder is Vinod Khosale. And the name was given for Java was Oak initially, and later it has been changed to Java. So these are the evolutions of Java. So as you know that JDK is nothing but Java Development Kit. So this Java Development Kit evolutions are 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5.0, and Java Standard Edition 6 and Standard Edition 7. So these are the history of Java. So Java has been three type of editions. The three type of editions are Java 2 SE, a standard edition. So this is the first one, Java 2 SE standard edition. Java J2ME, Java 2 Micro Edition, J2EE, Java 2 Enterprise Edition. So the Java 2 Standard Edition was developed for client-side standard applications or applets. So client-side application, which is not there is no any server-side communication, only a client-side standalone applications are developed. For example, desktop applications. Okay, so these are the desktop applications has been developed using J2SE, and later the mobile device applications, the mobile apps has been developed using J2 Micro Edition, J2ME. And later the web applications was been developed by using Java 2 Enterprise Edition, that is server-side applications has been developed such as Java Servlet and Java Server Pages. So these are the three main editions of Java. So first of all, what is Java? So Java is a general purpose object oriented language. Okay, you all know that Java is an object oriented language because it supports all object oriented concepts. So whereas it also known as write once, run anywhere. So you can write a Java once and you can run anywhere in any platform. That is means a platform independent and designed for easy web or internet applications. The web applications and internet applications are developed using Java. And widespread of acceptance. The worldwide web applications are accepted by all the OS and all the browsers. So it is widespread of acceptance. So that is why we use Java. So let us see the difference between Java and C and later Java and C++. First, we see the difference between Java and C. So in C language, the major difference is that C is a structural oriented language. So you know that a structural oriented language is nothing but it has certain rules. Okay, so it is top down approach. So and Java is an object-oriented language and has a mechanism to define a class as an object. So Java is an object-oriented language which does not have any rules. And second point, the Java does not have preprocessor, so we cannot use hash define, hash include, or hash if defined statements. So there are no any preprocessor in this Java, whereas in C++ we will be using hash define or hash include statement in the header files to include the header files. In Java we don't use these statements. And Java does not include structures, unions, and enumeration data types. So these are all not supported in Java. And Java does not include keywords like goto, size of, and type definition. And these are all the keywords which are not supported in Java. And Java adds label, break, and continue statements. Label, break, and continue statements are used in Java. And also Java adds many features required for object-oriented concepts. So we'll be seeing what are the object-oriented concepts in later, which are all supported by Java. And now we see the difference between Java and C++. The features removed in Java, whereas Java does not support pointers to avoid unauthorized access of memory location. You know that the pointer is a complicated concept in C and C++. But in Java, there is no any pointer concept because it does not allow the user to access the memory location using the pointers. You know that the memory locations are accessed only through pointers in C and C++. That is not supported in Java. And Java does not include structures, unions, and enumeration data types. These are all not supported in Java. And Java does not support operator overloading. You know that in C++ we do the operator overloading. What does mean operator overloading? We will be giving additional functions to the operator to do some other operations. For example, if you want to do an addition of a number, the plus operator will do the arithmetical operation. The same plus operator will be doing the concatenation operation for the characters. Hi plus welcome will give hi welcome. So similarly, that type of operator overloading is not allowed in Java because Java does not allow to do additional work for the arithmetic operators. And then the preprocessor play less important role in C++ and so eliminated entirely in Java. So the preprocessor concept is eliminated entirely in the Java. Java does not support automatic type conversions that result in loss of precision. So there is a type conversion. The Java does not support type conversion. So automatically the type conversion is not done in Java. There is a loss of precision in the result. And Java does not support global variables. Every method and variables is declared within a class and forms a part of that class. You know, the concept of global variables, that declaring a variable outside the class, that is not supported in Java because the variables belongs to the class, so it does not support global variables. So the variables and methods are everything belong to the class. So there is no any global variable concept in Java. And Java does not allow default arguments. Default argument is nothing but the value which is given default to the parameters. That is not allowed in the Java. And Java does not support inheritance of multiple superclasses by a subclass. So you have cleared, you know that the inheritance has different types: single, multiple, multi-level, and hierarchical and hybrid. In this Java, the multiple inheritance is not allowed because you have been so if you have a so this type of inheritance, if there is a more than one superclass and the one subclass is which inherits from two superclass, it is not allowed in Java. For example, if this A class and B class having a function called display, both the A class and B class having the same function name display, and if you are creating a object C in class C, and if you are accessing the display function by using the object C, then the compiler will be confused which function to be called from A or B. So this is why the multiple inheritance is not supported in Java. So it is not possible to declare unsigned integers in Java. Also, you cannot declare unsigned integers in Java. In Java, objects are passed by reference only. So the objects are not passed by value, it is passed by only reference in Java. Whereas in C++, object may be passed by value or reference, both. And new features added in Java. Other than that, the sum of features are added in Java are, first one is multi-threading. So multi-threading, that is nothing but it allows two or more pieces of same program to execute concurrently. You can execute more than one program concurrently in the Java. And C++ has a set of library functions that uses common header files. We'll be using hash include and be including some header files in the C program. Similarly, we'll be replacing it by using an API classes in Java. So API is nothing but application programming interface files, which are inbuilt files be used in your Java by using an import keyword. It adds packages interfaces. In Java, you can add packages and interfaces. This interface is nothing but to overcome the multiple inheritance, we'll be using this interface concept. So we'll be laterly we see what is the interface and everything. And Java supports automatic garbage collection. So you know that in C++, we will be using constructors and destructors. So constructor and destructor, in destructor is nothing but used for recollecting the space or memory allocated for the objects for which are created during the constructor. That is done manually in C++. But in Java, that are all not manually done. It is automatically done by the Java. So there is no any specific destructors to be defined. So break and continue statements have been enhanced in Java to accept labels as targets. So you will be seeing some break and continue statements in Java where we have to use, and will be easy to handle the program. And finally, the use of Unicode characters ensures the portability. As we said in the initially, the Java is a platform independent and is portable because of this Unicode characteristics. So this Unicode characteristics supports the portability of your Java program. So these are the characteristics of Java. So Java is simple, it is object oriented, it is distributed, it is interpreted, robust, architectural neutral, portable, performance, multi-threaded, dynamic, and secure. So these are the various characteristics of Java. So as we said, Java is an architectural neutral. So this image will be explaining you how it is architecturally neutral. So for example, if your Java code is saved as in .java file and using a JavaC compiler, after you compile your Java code, it will be converted to a bytecode with the extension called .class. So this is your Java source code. After compilation, it is converted to a bytecode with extension .class. So once your file has been compiled and it is converted to a bytecode, it can be executed in any type of OS, Windows, Linux, or Mac, with using a JVM. JVM is a Java virtual machine which will be used in all the OS. So this is why we tell that Java is architecturally neutral to all platforms. And as we said, the Java write once and run anywhere. So you can write the Java once and you can run Java in anywhere. This Java source file, after compiling, it will be converted to a Java bytecode. So you can carry over this Java bytecode file to any platform, whereas Windows or Unix or Macs or Android. So if your Windows, Unix, Macs, Android, various platforms will support this Java bytecode by using their Java runtime environment. So this will be running in all the platforms. So this is my first Java program. So initially we said there is no any predefined preprocessors, hash include, or like C in C++, we use hash include and header files. Here we don't use that preprocessor. Instead of that, we use the import keyword to import the packages or APIs, the application program interfaces, which are available in our Java library files. So here I have used import java.io. The IO is nothing but input output package, which contains, for example, I am using here system.out.println method to print my message. So this function, predefined functions are available in this packages, API packages. And as we said, the Java will be using class and objects. So I have declared my class name as first program, and then I have created a function, a main function, which is public static void main with the argument as string args. So this parameter string args is nothing but runtime argument. While you are running a file itself, we can pass the value to the program. So for that, we will be using this string args arguments. And after writing this program, you will be saving this program as a file firstprogram.java. So your program name is firstprogram.java with extension Java, and your class name is also first program. So your file name must be same as a class name. So once you have saved your file, you can go to the command prompt and set the path to your Java JDK folder bin, and you can, using the javac compiler, you can compile your program. The command for compiling your program is javac filename.java. So once you have compiled, if there is no any error, the file will be compiled successfully and convert to a bytecode. After converting to a bytecode, you can run your program by using a Java interpreter. So Java space file name. So you can give a first program hello world. So if you, after running a program, you will be seeing the message hello world in the output. So this is what I would like to share with you today, the basic introduction about Java. So later tomorrow classes and day after tomorrow classes, will be seeing the advanced topics of Java. Before that, I have given an assignment for you, an assignment 1. Can we save the Java program with different name other than the class name? If so, just justify your answer. So I told that you have to save your file, Java file, with the same name as that of the class name. So now I ask you to check whether can we give a different name to the file name other than the class name. If we can, just justify your answer how we can do it. So this is your first assignment, and I want you to submit this assignment in our Google Classroom. Okay. So I will be sharing this video also with to you in Google Classroom. Is there any doubt? Can you ask by chat? So this is the first video or the first online class. Is there any drawback or any audio clarity issues or video clarity issues? Can tell me so that we can improve in next classes. So I have been prepared a quiz for this first assignment also. I'll be sharing that link with you in a Google Classroom. So you all can access that Google form and you can attend that quiz. So everyone can attend the quiz and submit it today evening. Is there any questions? You can ask through chat. So actually this is a first class. I didn't take more time for specific topics. Just I given an introduction to all Java. So from next class onwards we'll be little bit spend more time and we'll just see the advanced topics of Java. Okay, so today our session has been completed. If you have any doubt, you can just ask through our Google Classroom, or if you have my mobile number. So you can. So this is my mobile number. You can WhatsApp me whatever the questions or you have any doubts. You can ask through this number. So thank you for your cooperation and bye.